Hi, good morning to all of you. Jai Hind, आप सभी का स्वागत है. This is Chandramouli in front of you, and you have been watching me since some days. The largest platform where we are meeting, and every of the educator is doing a lot to help you crack this examination. The last mile program is for those who have got this year's summon for personality test, and you are going to get molding sessions, mock interviews, your questions, personalized questions on DAF. A lot of things are going to happen here, so do join this. We have an experienced panel for this mock interview along with the educators. These are the civil servants, retired and the in present or in service ones who are going to give you some training sessions. Tomorrow, that is April 3rd, we are going to have this combat session. So please do take part in this combat test so that you can get to know what is your rank and what is your assessment. You can enroll right now. Just put in the code of CMC and you can enroll. This is going to have 56 questions in 60 minutes that you have to do. And if you get scholarship of 100%, that means you were there in the rank 1, 2, 3. Rank 4 to 10 are going to get 75% scholarship. Rank 11 to 50, 50% of scholarship. And even if you are in 51 to 500, you are going to get 25% of scholarship. Light subscription is about your test series and a lot of tests. So we have brought about the subscription for those who want to practice a lot. We give you in-depth performance analysis. We give you around a coverage of the things. We give you a lot of questions that are actually curated by us. So you have to just join this with the CMC code, and a good offer is running by. If you join this, 28 test would cost you 3149, 56 test is 4409. And out there, people, if you need me as your mentor, I have done this mentorship plus that includes notes making, giving notes to you, questions to you, giving you some 7 days of target and taking your stocks every 7th day. So this is what we have brought about. If you want to take part in iconic subscription, just look out for it. CMC is my code. And you can start with 0% interest at no processing fee. You can make your own EMI. So you don't have to pay at once. You can just make this all payment in EMI. Powered 500 session 7. And this is my Telegram channel. So please join this so that you can be updated about a lot of things that I do. Before going to the session, I would want to speak something positive, and that goes like, it is said that यथा हि एकेन चक्रेण विना रथस्य न गतिर्भवेत् तथा पुरुषकारेण विना दैवं न सिद्ध्यति. As we have to work in each and every field, we will have to move together with a balance. That balance must be there in your life. If the balance is not there, if one of the part you have left, that is going to trouble you somewhere. Maybe your success vehicle that you are moving upon or you have ridden upon will not move. So let's have this in our mind and then start the session. Okay. The first thing that I wanted to talk about today is, doing this current affairs IR part, I found out there are certain very important organizations or institutions that could be asked. The first of them is BIMSTEC. And when we talk about the BIMSTEC, I get to in my mind that it is Bay of Bengal. B stands for Bay of Bengal. Initiative for multi-sectoral, technical and economic cooperation. So it is multi-sectoral. It is not limited to one sector. It is multi-sectoral, and it is also into economy, trade, polity, security, everything, energy. And it's an economic cooperation. The question from here that could be, which of these are, or which of the countries are members to it? This could be a direct question. So you can understand, from South Asian countries, we have 5 members. From Southeast Asian countries, we have 2 members. South Asian countries are your B, I, N and S. Southeast Asian countries are your Myanmar and Thailand. So this is what you have to remember. If you just see the map of it, I'll just show you. You see B, I and N. This is your Bangladesh, Bhutan, India and Nepal. Sri Lanka is there. And if you see about the Southeast Asian countries, you have Myanmar and Thailand only. And the reason is they touch Bay of Bengal. They touch this part, no? They all are touching this part. In fact, if you just look to Nepal and Bhutan, they don't touch it. But they have all their access through India and Bangladesh. They can have an access to Bay of Bengal. So they are almost in this region. You cannot say they are in different region. They are into this region. Myanmar and Thailand have a touch also and are a part of this whole littoral boundary that is there. So that is to mean Bay of Bengal, we have to just see that what all can be there. So we have Sri Lanka, we have India, then Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, Bhutan, and India, and Nepal. This is there. Again, it was so much in news because we had a summit taking place in Sri Lanka. We had a summit taking place in Sri Lanka in Colombo, and hence again somewhat of revival of BIMSTEC has come by. Now, 2 from Southeast Asia and 5 from South Asia. All of them together have somewhere around 22 to 23% of world's population. All these countries together hold 22 to 23% of the world's population. And if you ask me the GDP, this GDP is somewhere around $4 trillion. Somewhere around $4 trillion. So they are going to have some command. When they sit together, they are going to have some command. This is what you must remember. It is 22 to 23% of the world's population and $4 trillion is the GDP. Now, the secretariat of this is in Dhaka. BIMSTEC has got its secretariat in Dhaka, and this BIMSTEC came into existence via Bangkok Declaration. Bangkok Declaration, which was signed in 1997, and you can just get into your head from 1997 to 2022, is there something that you feel can be asked this year or not? So this is what I just want to talk about. BIMSTEC Secretariat Dhaka, 1997 and 2022. So you can see 25 years that have gone by. A question is expected this year. 22 to 23% of the world's population, and it is actually by Bangkok Declaration that it has come. 5 South Asian countries and 2 Southeast Asian countries. Let's come together. Now, the last summit that we had in Colombo, Sri Lanka, earlier there was no charter. To it. Now we have got a BIMSTEC charter for it. That was the main outcome of this summit, the Colombo Meet. We have got the BIMSTEC charter. And now the members are having a defined role, a defined time period to meet, and they are expected to meet once every 2 years. The BIMSTEC also has got an emblem and a flag. So earlier we did not have this flag, but now we have got this emblem and flag also, so that wherever we have our voice coming up, we can say that this is our stamp, this is our emblem, this is our flag. This is about BIMSTEC. Now, one more thing that you have to keep care into is, actually there are many sectors. These sectors or pillars were divided into few countries that they have to take care of. For example, Bangladesh is now for the pillar of trade, investment and development. So Bangladesh taking the lead. Dhaka, we have the secretariat taking the lead for trade, investment, development. Bhutan is, as we all can understand, it will have to somewhere relate to your environment and climate change, and so has happened. This is your environment and climate change that Bhutan is taking lead. India has been very affirmative and has taken security as its pillar, in the sense that we are the only country in all this region, if you see, that can be the net security provider. All these regions, we are the net security provider. That means we can take care of ourselves and we can try to help you also. That is the net security provider. And we are taking into consideration very seriously the counter-terrorism initiatives, the transnational crime, disaster management, energy, etc., etc. Myanmar is about agriculture and food security. Nepal has people-to-people contact that has been given to it. Sri Lanka is about science, technology and innovation. So you can understand Sri Lanka has been away from your has been into your Chinese grab or garb, I would say. So maybe just some sort of opinion that they can be turning back to you. In the sense that if we try to help them via BIMSTEC or some other groupings, they would feel inclusive and can come back to us. Thailand has got connectivity. Now, if you have understood these points, please understand once again. In this all map, we can understand few points, and that is, India has a very old Act East now. It was Look East, but now it is Act East. So corroborating the Act East policy, we are bringing more vigorously the BIMSTEC. This is your Act East part. We are acting in Myanmar, Thailand, other areas. We have gone even to Japan. And we have reached the Pacific from here itself. For that region, Indo-Pacific looks like a vision, a sub-part of our Act East policy. But if you look towards now, we have cut off the Western segment. And we really don't want to involve that because we have seen a lot of troubles coming by. SAARC has failed because of the same region. We are so much concentrated here that we talked about the Kaladan multimodal project. We have already made the trilateral highway. We are pursuing the policies to help the Southeast Asian countries so that they can maybe fight with the clout of China. We are all doing this. And in that, BIMSTEC is there to help us. We have also come up with a master plan for transport connectivity, and that was needed because we had a very serious problem about connectivity. So connectivity is an issue, and we needed to solve this connectivity problem, and it can only come by when we have a good transport connectivity. So this is something that has come by, a master plan for it. Now, few more things have come by. In the Colombo Meet, we have also come out with Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty. So we have come out with a treaty on mutual legal assistance on criminal matters. Mutual legal assistance on criminal matters. So please understand these points very carefully. If they ask you directly, a direct question can be there. This we have now a mutual legal assistance on criminal matters. Plus, we have signed MOA, that is Memorandum of Association on establishment of BIMSTEC Technology Transfer Facility. Which is going to come up in Colombo, Sri Lanka. And India is to provide the BIMSTEC Secretariat $1 million to increase its operational budget. $1 million to increase its operational budget. So maybe they won't ask you this question, but yes, the technology transfer facility is going to come up in Colombo, and we all are going to fund it. We are all going to talk about it. So this is your transfer facility, technology transfer facility. Okay. Please let me know in the comment box down, what do you feel are the rivers that flow, or river that flow via Colombo? Please let me know which of the river can you tell me flows through Colombo. In the comment box, do tell me which of the river flows through Colombo. Let's move ahead now. As we have seen, we were so much with the SAARC. We were our first neighborhood policy, but there are certain countries that did not understand this. So we have turned our own ways now. We have seen that there were a lot of problems going on with the people infiltration there into our part of the country. Uri attack happened, and we were not at all, we are so emotional about this even till this date. So we decided that let's boycott SAARC. Let's remove this inclusion of this country, and in BIMSTEC we don't have Pakistan, we don't have other such countries. BIMSTEC is now coming up with greater vigor, and we are actually, SAARC has been an old thing now. It is the thing of the past days now. BIMSTEC is coming up with a very fast pace. If you could remember, we had a summit in Goa in which our Honorable Prime Minister wanted all the leaders to have an outreach summit, and it was also very successful. We said that the SAARC summit that was to be held in Islamabad must be boycotted, and they did. So the BIMSTEC countries are aligned with our ideas. SAARC meeting or summit has been postponed, and we don't know when it is going to happen. But BIMSTEC is the reality, is the order of the day, and that is the verdict that BIMSTEC is there to stay for long. Now, in order to have this BIMSTEC having more of energy, we can look for certain more things. For example, we can have an FTA in BIMSTEC. For SAARC, we had the SAFTA. For BIMSTEC, we can have an FTA. And once done with the FTA, we can feel that it is going to be a bridge of prosperity, connectivity, and security. So this is what that we can think of. FTA is the requirement. And you can understand UAE, we have already signed the FTA. Already some in the FTAs are some in the pipeline. For example, we are going to do with UK, EU, other countries are also coming up. FTA in BIMSTEC can be a very good thing, Now, it is all said that we are looking towards our neighbors and we must have some policy, and that policy must be around what is the thing that we can give them and do we need anything in return. Gujarat Doctrine was a very meticulated one, and it said that to Bangladesh, to Bhutan, to Maldives, to Nepal and to Sri Lanka, do not seek any reciprocity. You can give whatever you want to give. Do not ask for reciprocity, but you can understand or allow the countries to understand that no South Asian country should allow its territory to be used against the interest of another country of the region. So if we are giving something, we are not expecting anything in return, but we expect something. That something is, you do not allow your territory to be used against us. You do not allow your territory to be used against any of the countries. Also, no country should interfere in the internal affairs of another. All South Asian countries must respect each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty, and they should settle all their disputes through peaceful bilateral negotiations. This is what is Gujarat Doctrine, and you can understand, no, they are actually pointing, good morning, hello everyone. So these are actually targeted towards maintaining a balance and then moving ahead. Gujarat Doctrine can lead to have a good BIMSTEC relationship. Now, what is happening in this all Asian countries group, no, India is seen as a big brother. We have to shed this. Thing of big brother. We have to come along with them. And this is the reason that we allowed BIMSTEC to flourish. We asked them to have a secretariat in Dhaka. We wanted to have a Colombo summit and we wanted them to flourish. So now we are aligning with this idea that let's allow them to have an idea about us, that we are not only big brother, we are along with you as friends and we are there with you. This is what is our idea, BIMSTEC. So if a prelims question is going to come this year, I'll show you what question can come. Question could be, all BIMSTEC countries have or are Indian Ocean littoral states. So easily now one can say that all BIMSTEC countries, how it can be all BIMSTEC countries, how it can be actually having this littoral state, because we know there is Bhutan also, there is Nepal also. These are not littoral. These don't touch Indian Ocean. These does not touch your Bay of Bengal. Okay. Second, they could ask you is, all BIMSTEC countries are below Tropic of Cancer. Again, you can understand, not all are going to be below Tropic of Cancer. Why? Because there is going to be the countries like Bhutan and Nepal again that are going to be above Tropic of Cancer. So something that we can have in our head, how could they ask you? Not all countries touch Bay of Bengal. Not all countries are cut by Tropic of Cancer. Not all countries are below Tropic of Cancer. This is what you have to keep in your mind. So this question may come this year. I am expecting BIMSTEC. 25 years have happened. They could ask you about Bangkok Declaration. They could ask you about, they could give you a pair, Bangkok Declaration, and they could ask you, what is this? Please remember, this was about your BIMSTEC. First topic. Okay. Let's move towards another one, and that is your Ayura. Ayura is again your Indian Ocean Rim Association, Ayura. And we very recently we had a meeting in Dhaka. Again, Dhaka coming by. So Ayura is nothing. We all started with Ayura ARC, Association for Regional Cooperation, but now it has been named as Ayura. It is also an entity that came up in 1997. So again, I am expecting maybe if BIMSTEC, fine. If Ayura, maybe. 1997 was your Ayura establishment, which is nothing. It's a regional forum. It's a platform, so that we can discuss. We can try to talk about how to bring about mutual benefits to each other. How can we have mutual cooperation? And it is a consensus-based, evolutionary and non-intrusive approach. So it's about a consensus approach. We sit, we talk, we develop a consensus, and then we move ahead. And The organization is founded upon the values of open regionalism. Open regionalism. Do remember this? Open regionalism is what we are looking towards to, and that says that let's have the regions, let's identify the regions, and let's grow together. So we don't have to worry about only us. We have to worry about our region. So an open regionalism, all your scope, and for that we can have some economic cooperation, we can talk about trade, we can talk about investment, and some social development and promotion. This is Ayura. It's a forum. But the question is still not here. The question is still not here. 1997, I can get one question, one idea. Second question that I am getting in my mind is, does it also have academicians, maybe business representatives coming towards each other? So do remember, when they ask you these questions, no, the stakeholder of a forum can be many. They can be government also, they can be people also, they can be academicians also, they can be businessmen also. So when a forum is there, all people can come and they can join it. So do not restrict yourself only to that it's a government thing. It can actually be there to bring about a lot of people, government, academicians, and business together. And hence sometimes it is said no, that it's tripartite in nature. It's tripartite in nature. So government, academicians, business, these three coming together, tripartite in nature. But still the question has not come that I am looking for. France has been added to Ayura, and France is the 23rd edition. It's the 23rd edition to this group. 23rd. So they are going to ask you some about this. Why France? No one could have imagined why France should come. This is what you must understand again. France, UK, etc. They have got their territories in here. Since they have got their territories in here, they were invited to join this so that they can also take care or take part into this Indian Ocean thing. France has been very active in our Indo-Pacific initiative. So France has been now coming to this part, and France is the 23rd member. Do remember one more thing. Not all the countries that touch Indian Ocean are part of it. You can imagine Pakistan is not a part of it. Pakistan is not a part of it. You can easily see this. Pakistan is not a part of this. And they are going to ask you the question based upon this now. Pakistan is not a member to this. Otherwise, you can have all the members that are touching the Indian Ocean, they are there. France not touching. France mainland not touching Indian Ocean, yet it is there. For the reason that it has got its territories here. Do remember, France has been added as a 23rd member. They would ask you a simple question. All the countries, like how would they ask you? Please let me tell you. They would ask you like this. They would ask you like that all the member countries of Ayura have mainland connectivity, with Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, we'll do about that also, that symposium. So what happens now? Ayura is an association. Under this, we have a lot of things like we have Indian Ocean Dialogue also. We have symposium also. So things are there already. We'll talk about Naval Symposium also. Don't worry. We'll talk about that. For the time being, just have that Ayura. If they ask, Ayura is a forum. It's a bigger forum. Under this, we have a lot of things going by. Ayura is a bigger forum. So if they ask you, they have mainland connectivity in Indian Ocean. Do remember, not all the members have mainland connectivity with Indian Ocean. For example, France, it does not have this. France does not have it. Fine? Fine with everyone? France does not have it. And you can easily see, Australia, Bangladesh, Comoros, India, Indonesia, Iran, Kenya, UAE, Madagascar, Malaysia, Somalia, Mozambique, Oman, Seychelles, Singapore, South Africa, Sri Lanka, Tanzania, Thailand, Yemen, France. We cannot remember all this. We have to remember Pakistan is not there. Pakistan is not there. Okay. Now, the topic that I also wanted to take up is BRICS. Now, BRICS actually is so much again coming up because we had a lot of initiatives being taken up so that it can have a good sort of orientation in economic deeds. We had the new development bank coming up, and again, this has been in news also. It is an older thing, but it keeps on coming. Theme for this year's summit was actually important to us because our Prime Minister chaired this annual summit of the BRICS. This was held virtually. BRICS at the rate 15. So again, I'm expecting maybe something they could try to think here. BRICS at the rate 15. And they said that the theme was intra-BRICS cooperation for continuity, consolidation and consensus. Intra-BRICS cooperation for continuity, consolidation and consensus. And they adopted, BRICS this time adopted counter-terrorism action plan. Counter-terrorism action plan. So this could be a question. They have now adopted for the first time counter-terrorism action plan. So we have been very much vocal about the counter-terrorism thing at the UN platform also. We wanted to have a comprehensive convention on terrorism, but they did not accept it well. We are now having it at counter-terrorism action plan in BRICS, which defines the approach and actions of the BRICS countries towards the area of counter-terrorism, which can include counter-radicalization, online terrorist threats, border management, etc., intelligence sharing. So we have now adopted the counter-terrorism action plan. This is what we must keep in our head. Okay. We have also adopted the Delhi Declaration, a direct question. What is Delhi Declaration? They could directly ask you. So they would ask you as that the BRICS had a Delhi Declaration adopted. What is it? It is actually a declaration that called for a great reform from the principal organs of the United Nations. So we have been very vocal for the reorganization of the United Nations, maybe organs and UNSC. But the people out there, they don't hear it out. This is for the first time again that every I would say the BRICS that have taken collective position. The BRICS has taken a collective position on strengthening and reforming the multilateral systems. For United Nations, including that of UNSC, that was a Delhi Declaration that we brought about, that yes, the UNSC and the UN has to be reformed. It has to be made representative of the voices of the people that live on this earth. You cannot just concentrate your own powers in some segments. You will have to think for Africa, you will have to think for India. So that is Delhi Declaration that has been brought about, and it was for the first time that all of them have taken. Now imagine, BRICS was there. So already you have this R and C sitting there, and they are talking about the reformation of United Nations. So a great deal of things would have been there because they also accepted this. It called for an inclusive intra-Afghan dialogue. Now this cannot be asked, but I'm just letting you know. They called for an inclusive intra-Afghan dialogue for stability in Afghanistan. This is what you can keep in your head. No, intra-Afghan dialogue for stability in Afghanistan. This is all that you can understand. Okay. Now, another thing is BRICS, what it is all about. BRICS together, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, they actually are representing 41% of the global population. 41% of the global population. And 24% of the GDP of the world. 24% of the GDP of the world. Why I am doing this is, they ask you as that this command over 40% of the global population. So it will be correct. They command over a quarter of global GDP. Yes, a quarter of, yes, 24% or 25%, yes, of global GDP. And India had the chairmanship for 2021. Now it is going to China, then South Africa, then Brazil, then Russia, then again India. So in this fashion, it will keep on rotating. So you have to keep in mind this 24% of the global GDP and 40 or around 41% of the global population is our BRICS cloud. So I think that would be all for today. And I'm doing this international organizations that are going to come this year, finding it out and doing this research, and these are going to come in some form or the other. I hope you have been preparing well, and do write down these points when I give you. I also have my special classes in night around 10 and 11, so you can join even that. Okay, for plus 433 per month it is, and CMC, the code you apply 3899, it would become Iconic 6208 per month. If you apply the code of CMC, it will become 5587, and optional is 2292 per month. Anyone having geography as the optional, do contact me. 2292 per month. CMC is the code, and you apply 20630 optional per month. Batches have already started. Look for them, and the test is going to happen tomorrow. Do register for it. Best of the educators are already here, and you can enroll for the test. The store have opened up. I'm coming on 9th of April. I'm coming to the store. So if you are out there, let's meet there. Score booster test series is running by 15 questions, 15 minutes, and you can have this at 10 a.m. Very mega test series is also running by the Hindu, happens on Wednesday. CSAT happens on Saturday. Okay, so that will be all from my side. Thank you so much. Take care. Jai Hind, study well, and we'll meet every day like this only. Thank you so much. Take care. Jai Hind. And do comment in the promise wall note, do write down that you will